I'm a so-called inventor, and my next biggest thing is architecture. So I'm going to go into architecture fairly badly. I've already got a couple of architectural things on YouTube, my push bike thing, which I'll probably make another one of. And this is another video which is going to make a fair few of. But this video is an introductory one, but I'm going to make another video and make more models and stuff, all based on the tipi. The tipi is such a strong structure and it's so efficient when it comes to materials. Hardly use any at all, yet you get something really strong. And especially if you use modern materials, like this one isn't with modern materials. It's a traditional tipi. It's a rather large one, or it could be no, it's a traditional one. It's a tent thing, big tent. It's a rather large one, and most of the space is above his head, so that's not really efficient. So what I'm going to do is stick to the smaller tipis. Even that one's too big, probably just a bit smaller than that, and add them together so you don't have the height. And so if you haven't got the height, you haven't got such a waste of materials. Now I'll show you what I'm talking about. Oh, I think it's dark, isn't it? I'll try and lighten it. It's pretty good, eh? It's lighter now. It's a bit one-sided, doesn't matter, looks pretty good. Now that's a tipi house, and you can make the house bigger than that, just keep adding rooms. And say the room is probably about 12 foot by 12 foot in this case, and you can make a whole villa in your workshop. A workshop that size, you can make a house as big as you like. All you have to do is keep adding. Now we start with the floor. The floor is basically made of 4x1 timber, and it's made in sections. Made in sections. And it's made of 4x1 fan braced, so you don't have too much space between the braces, and so the plywood covering will not sag. And it's only about, well, a half-inch thick plywood or something, and that's the sort of planks the bottom of the floor will be made out of. And they'll have jacks around the edge. It's just a screw thing, it just screws in and out. Got a plate on the end of the bolt, pretty easy. And the one in the middle requires a hole like that in the floor, so you can reach in and turn it, and turn the thing. You know? So that's the floor. Now it's in sections so you can get it out the door, sort of thing. There's the door. You've got to get it out of the door, so you've got to have it at least in 6 triangles, or even smaller if you want to put it in a van. You can have 12 triangles, which converts to 6 triangles, which makes your floor all bolted together with stainless steel bolts. If you're going to have something that's transportable, use stainless steel bolts, because otherwise you will not be able to get them undone. And use wing nuts, so it's easier. Now you got the floor like that all put together, and you put one single piece of I'll start again. You put one single piece of carpet over the whole thing, so it's like one nice even floor. Now that's the floor. We have the sides. The sides are made out of in this design, made of sailboard poles, or probably maybe tubular aluminium, whatever's cheaper. The sailboard poles would be better, and you use plywood for the side, and the plywood is in sections 1, 2, 3, like that. So probably about 4 foot or 6 foot or something, and then so we can get them out the door. And now while we're on the poles still, we're not really under the plywood, but you make sure they're anchored to the ground really firmly, and the better you can anchor them to the ground, like peg them down or something, the stronger the whole structure. that's how tipis are. Very good, very efficient. Now back to the walls. The walls are in 3 sections, and they have bamboo stiffener or wood. Bamboo would look good, I suppose, and it's cheap. Like this around the edges of all the panels, and maybe one in the middle if it's a big panel, or you use wood in the middle or something. It's just stuck with glue, slotted in and stuck with glue for all these panels, and so you get the stiffness across as well as up and down. You need that because it's only a 1/4 inch ply, and you've got perspex windows or whatever. You can have openable windows or windows you can take out. The door section has to be specially made. Now the idea of this house is that they join together. Well, in this case, this design, we have 3 joined together, and that's why I'm going to make more videos, because you can join more than 3 together. And I didn't think you could, but you can. 2 and then 3. Now what I'm saying about more than 3, if you had a 4th one here, you're going to get a drainage problem on your roof. But there is a solution to it. All you have to do is modify the roof just a little bit, put another little section on, and you won't get the problem. In fact, you can have up to 6. 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, say, plus those 3, and still not get a drainage problem on the roof if you do the right thing to the roof, and you don't need to do much. But we'll worry about that in the other videos. And you can make a house just by adding. Now, how are you going to join this together? I showed you that technical bit. Now is another technical bit. How are we going to join the sailboard poles to the plywood and bamboo walls? There we have a device made of 2 pieces of aluminium, 2 stainless steel bolts and 2 wing nuts, and that's it. And special shape, and then you got the bamboo in there, and the bamboo in the sailboard pole there, and there is the plywood, the sides, the walls. Now we have to seal it because there's a space in there. You see there's a bit of a gap. I intentionally made a gap there, probably about a 1/4 inch in the real life. Use sponge rubber stuff like thong material in rolls. You get lengths of it, and it is 1 inch by a 1/2 inch, just long strips, and then cut off how much you need and stuff, and you poke it in to all the joints, and you poke it all in there and push it all in. That's it. And you push it in best you can, make sure you do a really good job, and when it rains, find the leaks and just fix up the thong material so it won't leak. Now, another big problem is how we're going to get the poles be joined there. We can join the poles to the walls, we've got that, and you can join the poles to the ground, but they've got to be joined solidly to the top welly well too, because that's where we get the strength of the whole building, not through materials but through this sort of stuff. And I just thought of a ring you have to make out of aluminium and just put it together. You got 2 ends put together there like this, you see, goes around, and you got the 2 bits there, and you glue it into one of the sailboard poles and have it at the right angle. So the sailboard pole's at the right angle, and the hoop is horizontal. And this is a little ring you make the same way, and when you make them you loop it through this, and you put them on here. You get 5 of them with the little loop that goes onto that loop. Solution of the problem: you can erect it easily and dismantle it easy, no problem. You can move them, and at the same time you can get a really nice snug fit. Probably put a bit of hose around this as well, a bit of hose or something, and maybe glue or something inside of it, and then you get a really nice snug fit, and you get a really strong TP. That's where the strength is. Now I've got some other drawings just to finish off, I suppose, as what we could make with it. The idea, a house, a nice house, which you could transport. You can make that house in here, you know. I did do a few drawings of the more than 3. There's only 3 at the time. There's 3 there, 3 tipis, one hanging off it there, one hanging off it there, one hanging off it there, and 3 tipis there. And they are not tipis, they're gazebos. That's outside. It's just some shade cloth thing. How to show you the roofing of 6. Now this is 6 tipis put together. And there the roof, so you got to make that part of the roof, instead of going down, that's depressing down, it's not, it's going upwards instead. That's about all you have to do. And you get a total runoff, because it runs off that and runs off out there and all out there and out there and out and so forth. And that's just another sort of house design sort of thing, based on the 6 and 3 tipis together sort of thing. There'll be more on this. I'll make some bigger cardboard models. I have a cardboard model of the 3 put together. That's 3. I'll get it darker. Now notice the roof is just 3 pieces of flat stuff, say plywood, on the top, see? And 3 more pieces of flat stuff on the sides, just 3 triangles. And 3. And inside, remarkably, when you put the 3 tipis together, you retain all the tipi poles. All the tipi poles are retained. But, you see, inside, it's just one big room. Isn't that insane? And when it's 6 together, to be still one big room. And there's 3 poles in the middle. You can use that as part of the furniture. And similar sort of how they do with yachts. They make the keel part of the furniture. No joke, there's some yachts, they got the galley and the stove built into the keel. And the keel normally is right in the middle of the whole cabin. But with the stove built around it and the galley, you don't even notice it. So you have to do something similar to this. Maybe put the TV there. Put a big fish bowl in the middle. Thank you YouTube for watching. I'll be making more models of the 4 together, 5 and 6 together, and the 2 together, and make them a bit bigger.